You're listening to the Level Best Network.
This is the INTERCOT Insider Live, episode number 109. The INTERCOT Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, INTERCOT's official travel agency, and the Disney Vacation Experts, and by the Official Ticket Center. For tickets to your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. Welcome, everybody, to the INTERCOT Insider Live podcast. This is episode number 109. Along with me tonight, I've got the entire, complete, you asked for it, nation of Canada. Ladies.
Hello. Hello.
You don't need no stinking soundboard. We've got Carolyn and Jennifer.
I was for you.
Bonjour.
And they have better mics than me tonight. That's the problem. Why? Look at you guys. You look like professional podcasters. Somebody get a snap of this one. Along with them, we've got Justin from somewhere in New York.
Hello, everybody.
All right.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good. Hello. From the beautiful suburban area of Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, somewhere out in the Midwest, an undisclosed location, we have Figment. Jason.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hiding out on my bunker from all the springtime snow today. That's been fun.
What the heck?
We got springtime rain.
Well, what would the INTERCOT Insider podcast be without a weather report right off the top?
Don't get us started.
Yeah, I know. The pollen is falling like snow here in South Carolina. And also from my hometown, hopefully your hometown too,
this
Philadelphia, PA. Ian
Super
Mitchell.
Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
Super Bowl.
Hey,
keep living on that, man.
I'm gonna put that in every podcast.
Dude, and the NCAA champions.
Yeah, the NCAA champions.
Villanova Wildcats.
My dad's alma mater.
My dad. Wait, really? I did not know that. My dad's alma mater as well.
Really?
Yes.
One thing we have in common.
They could know each other potentially.
My dad's dead, so would have been.
Well, they could have known.
Way to bring it
Wow,
down.
thanks.
Don't forget that.
All right,
went
Ian.
downhill really quick. They could have.
But I know
potentially. What year?
My dad, he was born in 41, so he would be like 77 this year.
Okay, they would have really been. They could have went to school during the same time together. We'll have to talk about that more lately, but.
Anybody on the podcast is interested in it,
No,
but you and I should talk.
we'll take it offline. We'll do everyone else a favor tonight and take it offline. I was looking, and we haven't talked in a while. Sorry to all of our loyal fans, but we are back, and we've got some interesting developments, especially in the area of a certain hundo that is on the line right now.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. What was our date? February 9th? Is that what it is?
Yeah. What were did somebody take notes on the deal as far as the bet between? Originally, it was between Ian and I, but we couldn't formalize it, and then Justin decided to jumped
into the fray.
Actually, I don't have it. Ooh.
And we can go back. We can listen. We can find it. Trust me.
Oh, no, we will find it. No, if I lose, I will be a man, and I will pay up.
And so what we're talking about is there was, again, reviewing, because we've done this the last couple of podcasts, is there was a bet on there being an announcement that Disney was replacing their monorails. And it was going to be from a year from the time where we made the bet. And I said, yes, indeed, an announcement would be made. Justin insisted, ain't gonna happen, and still is, by the way.
Yes, I still firmly believe that.
But then, strangely enough, this just in. Yeah, we don't have our soundboard tonight, but this just in. I saw on the Twitters earlier today, and I believe it got retweeted a couple times too, that there just might be some new monorails on the way. Maybe it's in the
There
room.
just might.
What's the scoop, Jason? What do we know?
So late over the weekend and into this morning, it started to be rumored internally, and several internet pundits have weighed in that it looks like Walt Disney World either has signed or is close to signing a deal to buy a new monorail fleet for Walt Disney World. So these wouldn't be the Mark 6s or Mark 7s or Mark 8s. It would actually be a new kind of model. I think it's the same manufacturer, though. It's the Innova 300. You may have seen its predecessor in Las Vegas.
Right.
That's the 200 model.
Yep.
The 300 models are currently in Brazil and Saudi Arabia. So probably
Which they will stay.
Right. It's probably not too many listeners will be maybe that familiar with those lines, but if you've seen one in Las Vegas, you can know kind of what it would look like. There had been some comments that they look pretty different from what Disney World has now, but the company does advertise. They do custom shells, and if you look at some of the different example sites we posted on the discussion boards, you can see that they do customize primarily the nose cone, and then the color along the sides is all custom. So certainly they can make them look like the current models. If you ever look up the ones at Tokyo Disneyland, those definitely have a very distinct look with kind of like a Mickey Mouse theme. So certainly they can do something to make them look a little different and unique.
No, are those from the same company out there in Tokyo Disneyland? I'm curious.
That I do not know. I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. But
I mean, I found it. It's February 11th, 2019. If no announcement is made by then. So what is this? Is today?
Official.
About 10 months out. It's the 16th.
Today is April 16th, 2018.
Right. So you got about
time.
Yeah, I think you're on borrowed time is what's going on here. But so. Yeah, we had some discussions internally back and forth in our chat that we have between all of our podcasters, and I think having been out to Las Vegas, I think those are plenty futuristic looking. Of course, they're configured different on the inside, and it also makes me wonder: is the number of car configuration the same as what Disney World does? I didn't take time to look to see whether
I was on it last year. Whether
they're shorter
cars, maybe?
Or I thought it was 4 cars in Vegas.
Maybe it was only 4. Yeah, you're right. You might be right.
They are shorter. Yeah. How many does Walt Disney World have right now?
No, see, look at that. None of us actually knows. Right off the top of our head. That's shocking.
That's what the Googles are for.
Jason's probably counting cars right now.
Yeah.
Isn't that a song by Dishwalla?
Wow, counting blue cars.
There you go. I know.
John.
Wow.
With the obscure
Dishwalla.
with the obscure reference of the night.
Wow.
Thank you. Where's my bell?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't thought of Dishwalla.
I know.
One
It's
thing.
about 5 minutes after
Why would you? Why would
Were
you?
you guys asking how many monorails there are?
No.
No.
How many
cars?
Like
cars
how
on
many
cars in each?
that comprise a train?
Come on, Jennifer, get
7.
with the program.
Okay.
The one picture they show looks like 7. One thing to keep in mind is that these are autonomous monorails, so there would not necessarily need to be as big or any pilot car space.
Right.
When you're counting out cars, that would be something
Bigger
to
capacity. Maybe.
keep in mind.
Oh, you're talking about the 300 mono
Yes, the new
Innovas.
ones, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I was off at 6 cars. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought
So
it was
the
7.
front. So if it's autonomous, then the front and the back car people can like sit right up front or whatever
No,
because there's no guy in the way.
not in Vegas. They don't let you do that.
They don't.
Mm-mm. No, it's pretty much the same as Disney Worlds, where there's the wall there, and they just don't have anything in the front other than, I believe, like cameras and stuff like that, so that they can be monitored from a remote location and things like that. But
there's still probably a compartment, just not as big of a cabin as the Mark 6s have.
But again, there could be some customization, and I could see it where possibly even if they were autonomous, that they might have room for a driver to sit up there just to monitor things.
They do say the interiors come with Yeah, an Admiral. And you say the interiors come with flexible seating arrangements. So that could be something Disney can modify. Yep. They also advertise inter-car walkthrough for free passenger photos.
I had not seen that.
Oh yeah, that won't cause problems because it never happens in the subway in New York City. You know, people going between cars and getting hurt. That never happens.
That could be a new feature of the 300 model because the Las Vegas one is the 200. So maybe that's something they changed.
You can't do it there. That is.
I do prefer the Florida monorail seating to the California. Yeah. Just like. It fits so many more. You don't feel like you're bumping your head.
Well, because it's transportation, not an attraction.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, those scale-wise are smaller. Plus, you don't have the headroom, so you can't stand up. So it's not like being on a subway or even a train for that matter. So these, at least in Vegas, you know, you get in, there's seating around the edges, and then the rest is standing room, which I honestly could see them doing. I don't see them doing the rows of seating separated where you can't, you know, can't
if they had turned those two middle seats to the side and be under the windows and just have it all open in the center, that would fit more people standing.
Yeah,
right.
And my guess is that that's probably where we'll be headed at some point. But yeah,
isn't that how the Disneyland ones are? They have the seating down the side, right? Don't they?
No, it's in the middle. There's a seat down the middle with like a front and a back.
And it's kind of weird, and you can hit your head, and if you're not careful.
Yeah, the Disneyland monorails are smaller too, right? At least they feel that way. I remember
they are.
They are.
Smaller scale.
It's like
I don't like them.
Justin said, it's an attraction there, though.
Yeah. It's not transportation.
Right.
Indeed.
Unless you want to go to downtown Disney, it takes you somewhere else. That's transportation. We talked about this. It drops you off a different place.
Yeah, I seconded your point of view. I thought it was transportation because it moved you.
Yeah, I don't know.
As opposed to the Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
Well, that's true.
It just returns you where you came.
That is a ride.
Yeah.
That's an attraction. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it looks good. I'm all for it. I have to say.
Speaking of monorails,
for it just for $100.
But you know what? The one thing I did want to talk about, because you know these are touted as being autonomous and things like that, and the Las Vegas system again runs without a driver on any of the monorails, but they also have the stations where, much like at the airport, they have walls there that close and you can't get past it, and it only opens when the doors of the monorail open and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and it's like an elevator, quick, get on, the doors are closing. I missed this one, whereas
it shows up and stops, the doors
somebody will
open,
stand there and let you get on. And...
Yeah, so I have to wonder how it would work. Whether the gating system would have to be modified. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem. They could still put you into little corrals and know you're getting into.
They have a gating system, right? I mean, it's there. They might have to automate it.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But they still may have people working at the stations.
It's true.
Yeah, like if you had any trouble while you were on the monorail, like I'm having a heart attack, there's got to be a call bell somewhere.
There is going to be. There are emergency call bells.
Yeah, there's emergency call.
You're by yourself. There's no cast member then if there's no pilot.
That's where I could see them having somebody riding up front,
Carolyn,
but he wouldn't be piloting
if you were on
the
a monorail right now. What would you do if you had a heart attack?
They have those little boxes that you can push the button and it calls the guy at the front, the pilot.
And what's he going to do?
What's he going to do? Stop at the next station.
He can call up to the station and be like, "Oh God, we have somebody hurt." Right. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like when that video came out, where the door was wide open and stuff. Imagine that happening, and then you pull into a station and there's no cast members around when you pull into the station.
There'll be people there.
I'm sure there will be, because somebody's going to have to guide people to the to the load and unload and all that. So
I mean, even in Vegas, they have people around. They have folks that are guarding the turnstiles and walking the platforms still a little bit, but the monorails themselves are automated. So anyway, I think I'm going to win some money.
Time.
Yeah, and it is
definitely
about time.
The monorails in California have gotten new Pixar wraps.
I know, they're so pretty.
Pixar Fest.
Them.
which, speaking of Pixar Fest, is going on right now at Disneyland.
What's that all about, Carolyn?
It's a plethora of Pixar.
Yeah, that's right.
Plethora of Pixar. It's like a limited time festival. I think we were talking about this on the boards or something. Somebody was wondering about if there was, going to be big changes, but it's just like an overlay, like a summer event kind of thing. And it just started on the 13th of April.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, just a few days ago. They're celebrating your favorite Pixar stories at Disneyland Park and Disneyland California Adventure. I think it's all kind of the build-up to Pixar Pier, sponsored by Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, and
Pinocchio.
Pringles.
Poutine.
And Pringles.
Anybody else who will pony up
Poutine in your purse.
Jeez. And
Poutine.
I don't know.
Sorry. Did I say what I think I did?
All right.
That out.
Yeah, sorry.
Woo. Goodness.
Yeah, so they just as part of, they have new parades.
I think that was a movie about, I don't know how long ago.
Poutine.
That was it. That was the reference that you were.
Yeah, that's it.
Getting.
At Disneyland Park, they have a nighttime spectacular called Together Forever.
Featuring Rick Astley.
Like projections on the park.
On the my head too, John.
Together forever. So that's going on at Disneyland Park, but then at Disney's California Adventure, they have brought back the Paint the Night Parade, which I know makes Jennifer thrilled because that makes me cry.
It makes me so happy.
I love that parade.
I even had music ready for it.
And then it says, I don't know what this means, but it says like the Paint the Night Parade, which most of us have seen, or at least online.
Good
Toy
stuff.
Story, Monsters, Inc., and Cars are all in there. And then it says, in addition to an all-new Pixar story joining the parade later in 2018. So they are going to add something else to that.
Yeah, they're adding 2 new floats, I think. It's like an inside out and an up float.
Yeah.
It's on the INTERCOT discussion boards.
But I mean,
go check it out.
That's right.
Yeah, how about that?
The where?
I mean,
are those floats there now, or are they going to be added in?
I think it's later.
Later in 2018. Pixar Shorts, a new film festival, so I'm assuming that's like the same thing that is at Epcot. It's going to offer rotating favorites such as For the Birds and Lava at the Sunset Showcase Theater in Hollywoodland. Meanwhile, the Paradise Gardens area will feature a new Pixar-themed musical troupe, character greeting opportunities, and crafts and activities for your little ones. So prepare yourselves for all that's new.
I mean, that's all good and all, but let's get down to the really good stuff. I'm talking churros.
Yes,
Churros.
Okay.
They actually did announce a lot of food items.
5 new churro flavors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that all about? What do we got? What do we got going on there,
baby?
I was looking at these on the INTERCOT discussion boards where
carrot cake is one of them.
That's a little.
That actually sounds good.
That might be a pass.
I'm with John on that. That's a hard pass.
Yeah,
hard pass on carrot cake.
Yeah, I don't like carrot cake.
You shouldn't mix carrots and cake. That's just. I mean, sorry, that's a violation.
Okay, but
violation.
Look what they've got. They've got a strawberry churro.
I'm in.
Strawberry
That's
sugar. Good. That's remarkably close to my cherry churro, which did happen.
You know what would be good is if they had you get a little tub of icing, like Cinnabon type icing, or the strawberry pie filling that you can dip it in.
Yeah.
But
that'll never happen.
Do.
What?
They do?
Wait a minute.
Yep. One of them is the iced specialty churro. It's a churro drizzled with donut icing and cocoa cereal. So apparently cocoa pebbles. So they can't say cocoa pebbles.
I'm cuckoo for cocoa
potato
pebbles.
barrels. Churro potato barrels.
Potato barrels.
What's the other one? It's a lemon churro with multicolored fruity cereal. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
The strawberry one, which John mentioned, which is a little bit of a cheat because they had a rose gold churro over Valentine's Day, which was also strawberry flavored. So
didn't even know what rose gold was.
They're counting that one as new.
Enough of the rose gold. Thank you.
And then we'll get to that later. Something else is replacing that.
Oh no!
Oh, that's right.
And then the last one is a cocoa churro, which is chocolate powder, salted cinnamon, and Mexican chocolate dipping sauce.
Now, is it too much to ask?
I like sauce.
Yeah, that's what. And I was thinking sauce.
They're each kind of in different lands, also, by the way. So they're each uniquely in a different land.
Is it too much to ask for a lemon churro with some blueberry drizzle on it? That would be so good.
I just want like a little plastic cup of some kind of dip. Because I find that the churros after
blueberry dip.
I'm halfway through, I need a drink.
Dry.
Yeah, they're a little. They do dry out. They dry out a little.
Carrot cake one comes with a raisin carrot cream cheese dip.
Okay, I would do that.
That just keeps getting worse.
No, I think that sounds good. I'll go to California and find out.
Lemon and Fruity Pebble churro does not come with a dip, evidently.
It's not Fruity Pebbles.
Very fruity cereal.
No
multicolored fruit type cereal. Yeah.
fruit related cereals.
Yes.
Well, the good thing is you will have a couple of people out there next month who will be able to try all of these.
Oh.
Really?
Report back
to your INTERCOT social media in about 3 weeks-ish.
Yes.
I'll start seeing some live updates from Disneyland and all the Pixar Fest fun.
Live churro updates.
Live churro updates.
I want
every hour on the 10s.
So who's going? Are you going, Jason, or is it Justin?
Yeah.
Or
yes. Actually, Dawn and I are going, and Jason is joining.
Okay.
And Selena Bad Kitty is meeting us there, and also Natalie and Angel are joining us for a day or two.
Okay, so I want you guys to try every one of these churros.
Yes, you each have to try a different churro and take a picture of it.
I want reports back on every one.
Not anybody tries the carrot cake churro. I'm just saying.
I kind of want to try that one.
We call it the Churro Challenge.
I think Dawn would probably like that one too, the carrot cake one. But I shan't be trying that.
They're not new, but they are bringing back the Choose Your Racer churros in Cars Land. Those are just multicolored churros.
You know, while we're on the subject of doughy goodness treats, could we get the beaver tails back in Canada, please? Just throwing it out there.
We still have those.
No, not that Canada.
No, I think he means, Epcot Canada.
You mean the fake Canada.
The real Canada.
No,
not your Canada.
Not that frozen wasteland up north of us. The real Canada.
Well, there's new poutine in Canada.
There is new poutine. There's new what? Poutine. Right?
It's poutine.
Check that, Justin. Check
poutine. It. Not whatever Justin said. Poutine.
I don't even know what I said.
It's probably for the best.
English is not my first language.
Poutine always seems like a good idea, but then I find after I eat it, you're like, you regret it. It just kind of sits there in your gut.
I don't like gravy anyway, so I won't eat poutine.
Carol, that might be the first thing that you and I disagree on.
Yeah, seriously. What the heck?
Gravy? No, I don't have gravy.
That's the end of the friendship.
Dad, I can't do this anymore.
It's going so well, too.
I love brown gravy over my French fries.
Epcot introduced this spring several new dishes at a couple different restaurants, and one of them was 2 different styles of poutine at not actually in the Canadian Pavilion, which is kind of odd, but at Refreshment Port, which is like Canada adjacent.
Refreshment Port.
So,
what a horrible name.
The one when you first come out from
formerly known as the McDonald's fry stand.
Yeah, kind of before you really get to the border of Canada.
It was the fry stand.
Chicken nuggets with the in there once.
Chicken nuggets and fries.
It used to be, I think it used to be one of the McDonald's.
Right. Right.
So the 2 versions are the traditional, which is French fries topped with beef gravy and cheese curds.
Now that's good eating.
And then the signature, which is French fries topped with Canadian cheddar bacon sauce and cheese.
Oh, to die for.
Oh my God, I know where I'm going.
I don't even know what that is, and I
probably can't even have any of that anymore.
I'm so sorry.
And in
I'll eat it
case
for you,
we're
Justin.
worried, the croissant and donuts are still there.
Oh, they're good though.
They were not replaced by these additions. They were just added in addition to. So
There are
those
no
are the
beavers
kind
now.
of three signature dishes there before you enter Canada.
I don't know what that says about Canadian food. Like, we really like bad food. Artery clogging food.
It's actually in Canada. It's just near Canada. So
It's like
You have to
Greenland.
insulate the arteries for up there, you know?
We
With your snowmobiles and your igloos.
You know, just
Yeah, we gotta
survive
keep
the
warm.
long winters.
With our blubber.
Exactly. It's like when bears hibernate. You know, you
You
eat
gotta
all-
load up.
Your 11-and-a-half-month winter.
Wow.
No, it looks like it outside right now.
Winter, yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Well, it got quiet in here. What happened?
I got
well,
distracted
speaking
by
of
the
things
blubber.
that will raise your blood pressure.
Oh, well, there you go.
All
Right.
So there's
Ian
a
talking
new
about the Eagles?
resort parking policy.
yeah.
Holy
Going up.
Nikes. I can't believe
Just
we haven't
came
taped
out,
since then.
I think right after we had recorded.
Right.
So the short of it is they're now charging for overnight.
Well, wait. Before you roll it out,
All right.
didn't we predict this? Like,
Yes.
didn't I literally say something in that, like the episode prior or 2 episodes prior about
So we can
this?
blame John
that this
for this,
was next?
Intercot Consulting.
They actually listened for once.
Yeah, I mean, they don't pick up any of the good ideas.
Wow,
They pick up this
No,
one, right?
of course not. But go ahead, Jason. Sorry, but I'm just pointing that out.
So now overnight self-parking now has a charge. This began March 21st. It is tiered. So value resorts are 13 per night. Moderate, this is by the resort categories. Moderates are 19 per night, and deluxe are 25 per night.
Okay, let's
Okay,
just.
can we start here?
Yes, Ian.
Break it
I know
down.
exactly what you're gonna say, Ian.
Do you want me to say it, or would you like to say it, Carolyn? Because I always believe lady first. So
Oh well, thank you. You tell me if this is what you were gonna say.
yeah,
Why
Exactly.
is the deluxe
yes,
parking
that's what I was going to say.
more expensive than the value parking? Are the spaces more luxurious and padded with a chef next to you or something?
Right,
Or
and
why?
to add on to that, you're already so the idea of a deluxe resort is that you pay more for additional amenities. So, like, wouldn't you think your $500 a night hotel room could maybe come with a free parking spot? You know, as
That's
opposed
silly talk.
Or you're paying for valet, so rather than like,
Right.
if you're
I mean,
like,
I
if
guess
you're
what
staying
valet
at a
parking
deluxe-
went up too.
Oh boy.
but maybe it could make all of the parking spots valet for.
that was the part that drove
Yeah.
me really bonkers. When I
Valet
saw
is
that,
now
it was
$330.
very clear to me that they went, well, these people are already paying $500 a night
They
for a
must
room,
be rich.
so they must be rich. They'll pay more for parking too. So that was number one. Number two, the other thing that really bothers me about this is it unfairly penalizes people who drive to Disney World. So essentially, if you drive there, you're going to pay $25 more a night for your room than somebody who flies. How does
Now-
that make any sense?
Now,
Just
Yeah,
that's
increase the
because you
price of the
already-
hotel, and that's
Right.
that.
So I wrote a letter to them about this complaining, and the guy from the executive offices called me, and he was actually really funny. We talked for a little bit, and he was a really nice guy, and I explained my concerns to him and everything, and he said, well, this may surprise you, but you're not the only person who has expressed some frustration with this. He said, I've heard everything from I will never stay on property again to are the parking spaces at the Grand Floridian paved in gold.
Jeez.
So apparently there was a major uproar, but I said, look, this is silly. Raise the room rate $8 a night.
Right.
That'll probably generate the same amount of revenue, and no one would notice. Like if you said to me, "Oh, your room at the Grand Floridian is now $508 a night as opposed to $500," who would notice that? I mean,
No
you just get a quote. So
Right.
if it's 7 nights, it's another $56. Like no one's going to notice the difference there. But when you smack me in the face and you say I'm going to charge you $23 a day to park at your $500 a night hotel room, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, I get that they're trying to keep people on property, and people who don't have a rental car there tend to stay on property and, don't venture elsewhere. So I get that side of it, but then I think like all these people that are driving are taking a burden off of your shared transportation, like buses and boats and things like that. Like I wouldn't say they're doing you a favor, but like why are you paying more but they're not using the same services? Like I'm paying more but I'm not going to be using all your buses, so why am I paying more?
Yeah, and I got to believe that it costs more to run that bus fleet than it does to run a parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and not only that, but like it's not just a matter of people who fly in and then rent a car. What about John? John only lives 4 hours away. What's he supposed to buy a $200 plane ticket and fly in so he doesn't have to pay?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm supposed to fly north to Baltimore, then to fly south to
exactly.
Orlando.
And I said that to the guy. I go, there's people that live in. I said, I'm not even talking about people that are locals. I mean, there's people that live, 3, 4, 5 hour drive away. They're not going to pay to fly. So now all of a sudden you're charging them $25 a night. My issue was not that they wanted to generate additional revenue because, that's their job and it's fine. And we all know they have a product that demand is through the roof for. But I just thought it was poorly implemented. I just did not like I thought they made very bad decisions in the way that they implemented it.
Is it because when you stay...
Even if they call it a resort fee and charged everybody that, I feel like that's a little more palatable than just picking the
But a resort fee should be the price of the room.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if it's like your price of your room is $500 plus an $8 resort fee, I feel like that. Like,
just tell me my room is $508. Then.
Right, I totally agree.
More tolerable than slapping me just because I drive a car.
I feel the same way about like airline fees. Like, I don't want to. Just tell me the flight's $300. Don't tell me it's $229.99 and then, oh, by the way, there's a $25 baggage fee and a $50 seat fee, and just tell me what the thing costs. Nobody likes being nickel and dimed. Nobody it's just really odd. I don't know why they implemented that the way that they did. Somebody didn't think through it very clearly. The tiering and the pricing should be backwards, if you ask me. You should pay $14 a night at the Floridian and 22 at Pop Century because you're already paying through the nose for your room anyway.
Quite frankly, you should just pay the same for everything.
Right. I was going to say the same thing. Just standard flat rate across the board, no matter what.
Is it because they're losing out on money? Because if you stay on site, you get free parking at the parks. So this is how they're kind of breaking even. Is that you're paying $20 to park your car at the hotel, so.
But what about then annual pass holders?
Not really free parking at
how do they do it with them?
Anymore. Well, maybe that's coming down the line.
Do you get a credit if you stay at a resort and you're an annual pass holder? I don't know.
And what about DVC?
DVC is exempt when staying at a deluxe villa resort. So basically at their DVC resort.
Deluxe villa.
So if you're staying at a DVC, you get
Right. Yeah, if you stay somewhere that doesn't have DVC villas or studios, you're not exempt. That's how it reads. And the kind of mentioned it in passing, but the valet charge also went up from $25 to $33.
That's crazy.
Now, $33 for valet parking.
It's 40-something for the preferred parking.
It was like $10 a night, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Plus tip. Yep.
So part of the official line is they are simply catching up to, I guess, their competitors in the Orlando area. Some of the local newspaper articles cite that most other resorts around the area, including Universal Orlando, charge between $12 to $20 a night for parking.
They do, and
true story, but their rooms are cheaper.
And most city hotels charge the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure the everyone else was doing it reasoning is really the best business philosophy, but
always a great way.
Well, and the other thing too, though, John, if you're parking in the city, you've got limited parking, so I can understand. Putting a premium on those spaces. It is not like there's limited parking in Disney World. And the other thing that would have made more sense in my mind, what about the people? The irony is, if you're not staying there, you don't have to pay to park there. Like I'm seriously tempted. If I ever stay at like a monorail resort, I'm going to go visit the Polynesian, leave my car there, take the monorail to the Floridian, where I'm staying, so I don't have to pay to park. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You could drive there and park all you
they will supposedly check for a reservation now for dining to let you in, though.
What if you just want to go look at the gingerbread houses?
You don't have to pay to park unless you're staying there overnight. If you just visit the resort, there's no parking fee. Because originally I thought, they're trying to eliminate the people that park at the resorts to go to the parks. But this isn't doing that.
Well, because a couple people asked that question, Carolyn asked about, going to see the lights and things, or not lights, but decorations at the various resorts. And the answers people were getting from guest communications were, if you do not have a dining reservation for that time period, do not expect to park for free.
That would make sense now. So basically, if you pull up, because one of the things, we do this a lot, we'll wake up in the morning.
We did not promote breaking the rules. Here we go.
I'm not promoting breaking the rules. Okay. That's not at all what I was going to say. But what we'll do is wake up a lot. My kids will go, can we have breakfast at Kona Cafe? Because they love the Kona.
Okay.
And you can typically get in there without a dining reservation.
Right.
So we go to the Poly in the morning. Probably half the mornings we're there, and just walk in and get food without a reservation, because we didn't think of it until we woke up in the morning. So, I guess that means I'd have to pay to park if I did that now.
Well, just think about now, sometimes during the Run Disney events, when we go out to cheer and whatnot, we go over to the boardwalk. Yeah. I would bring the car and, it said to the guy, hey, listen, we're going in, just to cheer, oh, yeah, no problem, go park over here, know. So what, are they going to now charge us at the gate?
Well, and the other thing, too, this is where it gets a little annoying to me, because, let's say and this could easily happen, I like some of the shops in the Grand Floridian, and we always... Yep. And I'm just using the Floridian as an example, but it could be the Animal Kingdom Lodge just as readily. What if you just want to go shopping at the resort?
Who's charging you? The security?
Boardwalk and walk around.
Right. I mean, the boardwalk is a perfect example, right? Because that's sort of part of the entertainment. So I guess if you go to the boardwalk, you're supposed to go to what? Epcot? And I mean, you can't, because what if you want to be there after the park closes? There's bars there.
Yeah.
Is there a place to park? So where can you park to go to Jelly Rolls if you are not staying at the boardwalk? Is there a special park?
It's far away. It's close to the very.
Will that still be free though?
Right, but that's resort parking, Carolyn. You're talking about the one that's across the street, kind of next to the gas station.
Yeah, technically it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, way out there.
Right.
There is. Because sometimes the resort parking's full, and they make you go all the way out.
Yeah, that's still parking for boardwalk, so I would think they would charge that.
Yeah, there's still some conflicting reports on that. I don't think Disney ever really posted something official. This other article says visitors to resorts will still receive complimentary parking.
So. Yeah, I don't think they've quite figured it out.
Well, I'll just go visit a resort.
Right. But that doesn't say what qualifies you as a visitor, though, so...
Yeah.
Well, I'll find out. I'll test it. We leave in
I'll test the system.
Days.
And remember, they were also talking about trying to go cashless at the resorts. So now you're going to have to pay by credit card at the gate. And who's charging you? The security guards? The security guards, they don't want to be sitting there dealing with the money situation and whatnot.
So then think about that for a minute. So now you're trying to get into your resort where you paid $25 or whatever to park. And I got to wait in line behind.
No, because they have 2 lanes. Once you've already been there, you go in the fast lane.
I know that.
Yeah, but you might be checking in, waiting behind all these other
half the time
people.
I think it's annoying. I never use that unless I have to. Although I guess I'll have to.
Oh, I did. I found the official day guest statement. It's buried away on their website. It reads: complimentary standard self-parking is available while enjoying select dining, shopping, entertainment, and recreation experiences at Disney Resort hotels.
You have 15-minute window.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to
shopping
that somehow.
Good to know. I mean, because I keep wanting to go over to one of the resorts and rent those little sea racer boats with my kids.
Mm.
So then I'm going to have to park somewhere. So who knows?
I mean, I think they've always said, it's still at the discretion of the parking attendants if the lot has capacity for visitors, but
that's great.
That's
now you're going to pull up
around.
So now you're going to pull up to park, and you're never going to know. You're not going to know whether you're going to get in or not.
Well, I mean, that's been the policy now. It's just very rarely have that ever really been an issue. Like if you
Parking
try to
lot's
get a
full
or something.
Yeah, Moose out front should have told you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You folks.
Oh my!
All right, what's next?
Yeah, I know. We burned that one out, didn't we?
Oh, Justin mentioned the cashless system they're testing at resorts.
Right.
They're testing something else at resorts. Essentially a keyless system, which they've already been doing, but a magic bandless entry system, an actual digital room key that's on your Bluetooth-enabled smartphone. So
That sounds tactful to me.
So if your phone dies, you can't get
we've
into
talked
your room.
about this in the past too.
Yeah,
Haven't I talked about my
silly.
disdain for the? I mean, it's nice, but there's two things. For one thing, I still think that you miss out not talking to the people up front, but that's fine. Some people don't like doing that. Great, go straight to your room, but it takes longer to get out your phone, to bring up the app, to go to the keyless app section, to hit the thing. You're waiting, you're standing there. It's so much easier just to
I'll
have
go
a
you
key
one further, John.
app. Yeah.
It's even worse as a Canadian because you got to get out your phone, go to the app, connect to Wi-Fi.
Because you're not using your data plan.
And Disney's Wi-Fi works so good.
Why would
it
you?
works so well, Justin.
I'm glad you corrected him.
I told you
I'm
English
glad
is.
you corrected him, Jason.
I'm
Like
sorry. I
crazy.
told you English is not my first language.
I hate that.
But yeah, if your phone is dead too, like you
So
pointed out, why can't I just tap my wrist to the door?
Well, you
That's
can't.
been working so
I'm sure
wonderfully.
I'm sure it's just going to be an option. And my guess is the way that it will work is it'll be like a car, like my car keys. Like I don't have to take my key out and open the door. I just walk up to the car and open it because it senses that my key's near it. So
Yeah.
I'm
Master
guessing it'll just
Mitchell
be
has
like,
arrived.
You probably
This is through the app, though.
Nope.
It's through the app
No,
though, because then
it's just
then,
like my
you
Hilton
could grab somebody's
thing.
phone, just start walking around all the resorts, and be like, "Which room does this?"
Like
open?"
I
so.
guess that's true.
There's
No.
a lot of rooms that
Well, the app actually tells you what room you're in.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, actually.
Oh, that's true.
Wow, talk about holy moly, that's dangerous. I don't
Remember how I knew what room you guys were in?
Yeah, that was weird. You knew what room we were in before we knew what room we were in. How
That's
bizarre
called
is that?
stalking.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be.
I mean, you guys
I don't
have.
think I'll be opting in for
You
that.
guys have seen this, right? You've used it, right? The digital key or whatever. Maybe not. Hilton has
No,
it.
never
Okay,
used
so yeah, it's just called a digital key. So you get it, you request it, they send it to your phone when your room is ready. You have to go into the app and you have to tap on it. It brings up a thing. It says, be sure to be close to the room, and then you press OK to unlock the door. Then you wait 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then and it
That's just
opens.
stupid to me.
But I think that's what you're talking about. It's not just near field communication.
Right.
That's just going to be, like the bands where you just approach with your phone and your door unlocks. It doesn't work.
Well,
that
why
way.
would I want to do that? What's the benefit of doing that besides having my magic? I mean, I already have my
Then they
magic.
don't
What
have.
about during
Guess
a
if you
hurricane?
forgot your magic band or you weren't
Where
wearing
did-
it
Well,
day
that
for
I can
some
see.
reason.
I have actually done that before.
What if
I
there are
left
going to be
without my
no
magic.
more magic bands?
That's what I mean. Are they going away? Magic bands are going away, and your ticket and everything will be on your
Just
phone,
be on
and
your
you'll
phone.
tap your phone.
Maybe, but like you said, for international visitors, though, that's going to be a
Quite frankly,
Well, that could
a
be
hiccup.
though only if you're international. You get a fancy magic band, but
But-
the rest of the time,
What about during a hurricane and cell towers? I don't know.
during a hurricane.
Hurricanes never hit Florida.
You got bigger problems if you're in the parks during a hurricane, but I'm just saying. But I mean, think about
I'm
this.
not in the park. I'm at my hotel
can't-
room. I can't get in my room.
Well, that would be another
the
problem
winds- the
too.
winds are
and you're
blowing.
whipping you around, blowing you off your balcony.
The
Out
wind blew
front.
down the cell tower. Now we got a real
There,
problem.
I know.
No, I mean, if you think about it too, the other thing is, I mean, people are using their phones all day long. Can you imagine? I mean, what the charging stations would have to be all around the park because everybody be running out of juice because
Oh, I
they're
already
tapping
run
their.
out of juice in the
I know,
parks.
that's what I'm
halfway through
saying.
the day, I've got
Can you
no
imagine if
reserve.
all your fast passes were on there and that's the only place you had them?
yeah, and
They have to have more of those.
They have like a
My
cottage
phone died.
industry built around, selling
Yeah, more machines. Yeah, little battery charging machines all around.
Carolyn, what are those the charger thing you have that you just exchange out?
Yeah, the exchange.
Power rods or something like that?
That's what I was going to say. That's what they'd be doing.
Yeah, it's a brand of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and it actually I don't mind them. I mean, I've heard people have different experiences with them, but you pay $30, which sounds ridiculous to begin with. But
then
it comes in like this cute little plastic kit, and it's got both a charger end for a Samsung and a charger end for an iPhone, and then and it's got like the little travel battery pack thing, and then once that runs out, you go back to the machine, and forevermore you get free brand new ones. So you just drop the old one in the machine, and it gives you pops out a new brand new charged one. But some people have bad luck. They say like, oh, it only half charges my phone or whatever. But I've always had good luck with them.
Is it a brand new charger, or are they just giving you a charger that's they get them back and they recharge them?
They get them back and then they recharge.
The latter. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a propane tank for your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Propane and propane accessories.
Except not
accessories.
Bobby?
So
not the heat.
If you've listened to this description and still not sure what we're talking about with the digital keys, there is a video on the boards showing how this is demonstrated, and it is currently being tested at the Wilderness Lodge. If that all sounded great to you and you want to try it, if you're staying at the Wilderness Lodge here probably over the next couple of weeks, you may have that opportunity.
I'm not against the idea, but I don't want them taking away my Magic Band. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, they can have my Magic Band.
I would think it's going to be like an option.
Please.
It's another alternative.
I gotta tell you.
I don't even wear it on the wrist anymore. I got the
free bowl of soup.
lanyard.
Looks good on you.
Yeah.
So
Magic Keeper.
Yes.
I think the official name.
So let's dance.
So we mentioned fast passes on your phone.
Right.
The landscape of fast passes will be changing here shortly because of Toy Story Land.
The new tiers.
Yeah, so with that opening, there will now be tiers at Hollywood Studios.
Will they be tears of joy?
Tears
You
of
see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Tears are falling. Sorry.
If you could not ever do that again.
What was that?
Kiss. Tears are falling? No? Nobody? Okay.
No.
Sorry.
Carolyn's dying.
No one.
God of Thunder? Nobody?
Nobody.
John keeps making funny faces too. Anyway.
No.
Nice collection
Nothing.
of Magic Bands.
Delicate flow.
I didn't realize I had this many. I just opened my drawer. Look at all these things.
I know. I have every.
Somebody get a
Those
picture.
are families.
They are family Magic Bands.
So
I gotta have 20 of these things.
So what's the tier?
I also found the tiers debit card in my drawer. I don't know where the hell that came from.
Ian's pulling.
Ian's spring cleaning right now.
He's doing
During
random
the podcast.
junk in the middle of the podcast.
Efficient.
No, I was looking for my Magic Bands. I wanted to see how many I had.
So the tiers. There will be two tiers.
Oh.
Tier 1 will be Toy Story Mania, Slinky Dog Dash, Alien Swirling Saucers, and so all of Toy Story Land. And Tier 2 will be everything else. So
until Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge.
Then that will be Tier 2.
Brought to you by Samsung.
We'll see how that'll impact things when that opens up. That could be like the guess would be it will go to 3 tiers at that point. Star Wars Land will be like Tier 1, Toy Story Land Tier 2, and the rest of the park
and
tier
the
2.
tier that you don't actually need fast passes for.
Yeah, probably not by that point.
Yeah.
Now, just speaking of that, I know we're talking about this, but that Project H that Jason, you put up the prints on, I have questions on that.
And what would those questions be, Justin?
That would be
my question to that is, now it was proposed that could possibly be the site of the new hotel.
the Star Wars Hotel.
The Star Wars Hotel. Right.
Right.
Doesn't that seem a little
Removed?
far
Yeah.
to be
I agree with
like
that.
have
No.
direct access into the Star Wars Galaxy Edge?
But that hotel is not about Star Wars Galaxy Edge. That's a whole self-contained thing by itself.
Correct, but wasn't the idea of it to be immersive right into the story of Star Wars?
It's not as far away as you think.
Okay, there we go.
Their permits literally blanked out all of Star Wars land. So if you look at the larger drawing, when you see, or I guess it's a picture, you see where South Studios Drive is. The road directly behind that is a interior park road.
Okay.
So Star Wars Galaxy Edge starts right behind that. So this is, I don't know, maybe
if it's close
half a mile away. I don't know how.
Imagine they have a people mover.
That's what I was going to say.
No,
kind of like the whole Harry Potter thing.
Run.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, the Logan's Run.
The Harry Potter.
No. On this map.
That's a good reference, Justin, because like basically in Logan's Run, in the TV series Logan's Run, which by the way I have on DVD and it's awful. Like, as much as I love Logan's Run, other than you could see Heather Mendes, I think was her name, who was in the series, who I had a crush on at the time. Sidebar. But essentially what they would do...
She's no more.
I know, who knows? She could be dead now. I don't know. Probably not. Anyway... I know, it's so morbid.
You're not dead out there.
It's a side thought.
Hey,
Heather, we'd love to have you on the
Heather.
podcast, even though I hated the series. But I loved it at the time. As a kid, I thought it was cool. But essentially what they did is they took like a minivan and attached some like side curtains to it from the bottom down to the ground, and they put some hydraulic lifters on it. So essentially
She is actually dead, John.
Is she really?
Not only is she dead, but she just died in December of 2017.
Really?
Oh.
She was relatively
young.
young too. She was only 68.
Yeah, Heather Menzies, right?
Yep. Yeah, she passed away.
Oh, she was like
She had brain cancer.
Oh man, cancer sucks.
R.I.P. Ms. Menzies.
She
was apparently married to Robert Urich because she's.
By the way, a definite cutie, and if you look at on the Wikipedia page, they have her as
Logan's Run. Yeah.
In Logan's Run. So, but
Not
anyway,
Logan's.
to get back to the thing, to Justin's point, what they did essentially put hydraulic lifters on a minivan, and so they would get into it essentially, and it would go, and they would try and make it look like it was floating across the. But it had these side skirts just to cover the wheels up, and it was so cheap production-wise. But I could see them doing that, Justin.
Yeah.
You get in your land speeder, and
I know what you, Jason, the way you described it, just still seems like it's so far away.
Yeah, the scale at the top, I don't know if that's proportional or not, but it looks like it'd be the edge of the hotel construction site would be less than 1,000 feet away, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
Not that far.
Could have
Maybe
tunnel.
I don't understand. I thought this hotel was a theme park unto
In a
itself.
theme park?
No, I feel like it's a hotel where
It's an experience to
walking
it.
around, but
That
it's
is
still
correct.
a hotel.
But
That's not what I got when I read it.
Else.
It's more like a cruise ship, like a themed.
Yeah,
like you go there and you don't leave. The whole experience is contained within the hotel.
Well, I thought you leave to do missions and be in the land.
I thought it had.
I
thought it had exclusive access directly into the Star Wars land. That's
Well,
what I believe what
that
the
it may have.
part of it.
Here's my idea that you'll go because the hotel is supposed to be in outer space, right? So how do you get from there down to the surface of the planet? So you're going to need to get into some kind of spacecraft, and it'll be like a little Star Tours kind of.
I think you're confused.
Or like
Jen.
a
I think
Tommorowland.
you're thinking of like the space restaurant where you're in outer
there's
space.
that too, but yes.
No, but all the pictures of the hotel, I thought you're looking at it was all like a starry sky.
Okay.
Starry sky.
But then you
let's see
get
what we
into like
have
some
here.
kind of Tommorowland Transit Authority thing, but it's all self-contained, and you have like video screens, and you're like, ooh, it's like the hyperspace effect, whatever, and then you slide down to the planet.
I'm looking at the Disney Parks blog announcement when it was released, and all the pictures are from the hotel. It says, this revolutionary new vacation experience will be a living adventure that allows guests to immerse themselves in an entirely new form of Disney storytelling. It's unlike anything that exists today. From the second you arrive, you will become a part of a Star Wars story. You'll immediately become a citizen in the galaxy and experience all that entails, including dressing up in the proper attire. Yep. Once you leave Earth, you will discover a starship alive with character stories and adventures that unfold all around you. It's 100% immersive, and the story will touch every single minute of your day, and it will culminate in a unique journey for every person who visits. I think the whole thing is self-contained. I don't think it really has anything to do with the Star Wars land.
They said somewhere else he will go on special private missions in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Hey, there you go. Via the land-speeding minivan. They'll take
now,
you over
where
there.
you are.
It's called Project.
That may not be.
Oh wait, nope. Hold on.
I'm
Here's
so
the
glad it's not preparation.
Jason.
Ouch.
Jason is correct. So.
Which is good on the whole.
So this is the next update.
Jason, let him go. Let him go,
blog.
Jason.
Project.
It says it will be seamlessly connected to Star Wars Galaxy Edge. It does say that, and then it also says the opportunity for immersion at this resort will also stand out among all Disney resorts around the globe, as it will be seamlessly connected to Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disney Hollywood Studios. So you are correct.
And it looks like they just filed the permit for whatever that seamless connection will be, because they filed one right for that backstage access road. But everything else for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, like they've already done all the permits and everything for it because they're already into construction. So they're building some sort of a building near that access road. So whether that'll be like the in-park station for whatever this transportation is, or if it'll be like a transitioning building of some sort to get guests seamlessly into the land, remains to be seen.
But like, are you going to have to go to the land in costume? Like that would be weird. Like I show up with all.
I don't think that's so weird.
And I'm wearing a Han Solo costume.
If you're going to dress up as a character, nobody's even going to pay attention.
Kind of blend in with the cast.
That's a fair point. They might think you work there.
It could be.
But if you go to like Harry Potter world, everybody's got their robes on and their wands out, and nobody thinks anything of it.
I think that's what they're looking for, quite frankly.
Robes on, wands out.
That's right.
Justin, we
can't take you anywhere.
We just cannot take you anywhere. You're not fit to be out in public.
I just stated what she said.
So, speaking of other things that were announced at D23.
What is that, John?
It's a tiki.
Go ahead, Jason.
Go ahead. Anyway.
So the Star Wars Hotel, or Project H, as its parent construction codename is, was announced. Another project, codenamed MK1, appears to be canceled.
Mark what?
What is MK1? That was the Main Street Theater.
Doomed from the start.
Back in February, it was announced internally that the construction had been indefinitely delayed.
Yep.
Never a good sign, but it just wasn't clear. Okay, are they moving it somewhere else? Was there an issue with that site? Did something else delay it? But the telltale sign came this past week, where it has been removed from the public What's Coming to Disney World phase.
Yes,
so it's just wiped from there. No announcement. Nothing to see
Never
here.
to be spoken of again.
What theater? There's no theater.
Next, the Tron cycles will be going.
Put in the.
No. The news said something. There was some news about breaking ground for Tron cycles or something.
They have broken ground for Tron cycles. And another transition to prepare for the Tron cycles, they are starting to redo Tommorowland. So you may have noticed that in the concept art for the Tron cycles, Tommorowland looks a little different. There's kind of a very blue and white color scheme shown.
Like it used to be?
Yep. Like it used to be, and they're starting to implement that in different areas.
I mean, bring back the fountains out front.
Bring back the really cool,
like where the
new age back. That's what I want.
The falls rather that would.
I want to bring back the David Lance background loop. Can we get?
I want to bring back the big
I've got that right
things on the tops of the buildings.
Me too.
The what thing?
Waterfall.
The what at the top?
The pointy things.
Oh, the pointy things?
Oh, the spires.
Like the spires that were sticking up on top of the building.
Or like obelisks. I almost said that.
Don't ask me. English is not my first language.
Jen's playing her pan flute.
Is she actually playing it?
Yes, I've got my flute out.
You didn't know that she's an elf. She plays her pan flute.
A flautist.
She's a flautist. At least she's not a pianist.
Why are we back to this again?
Both.
Although her mic kind of looks like a
So much blame.
I didn't say that one. Don't blame me.
Yes, there you go, Jen. That's my favorite. That is the best. That was the best background we've
In addition to the repainting and pan flutes, any Instagrammers out there might notice that the beloved purple wall isn't very purple anymore. It's still various hues of purple, but it's more of a geometric design. Some say they look very similar to Spaceship Earth, but it's not the solid purple color.
So am I the only one who didn't know that wall was a thing?
Yes, I did not know either. Sorry.
Okay, I didn't know it was a thing, but I thought it was a cool wall, but I never knew it was a thing, you know. I mean, there's shirts, there's all things about it.
Hats. You know what's funny, though, is Disney has taken something that just people came up with on their own and then is trying to monetize it with hats and things that say purple wall. But there's other walls.
And then changed it.
Yeah, and then they went and changed it. And there's another
Well, now those hats are retro, though, so they're more collectible.
Yeah, that's true. They're collectibles.
Make them collectible.
And obsolescence.
Instagram or Twitter and just look the hashtag purple wall and you'll see everybody's pictures. But then there's another one at Epcot that is kind of behind Journey into Imagination, sort of in that area, and they call it the bubblegum wall so you can do hashtag bubblegum wall and you can see it's just like a cutesy colored wall. And then somebody got the idea to go into Pandora and have their picture taken next to hashtag rusty pipe. There's a big L-shaped rusty pipe.
That's awesome.
So that's now the new thing in Animal.
One other change in Tomorrowland, which may seem minor, but it's allegedly the start of several larger changes. They removed the little green alien merchandise kiosk.
LGM.
Near Buzz Lightyear. So that may be the first sign that some of the other sort of cartoony signs and other things that are currently in Tomorrowland will start to come down in favor of a more unified, cleaner aesthetic that they do show in the Tron Light Cycle concept art.
Can I just say, looking back, and I posted, you guys on the podcast can see it, but of course our listeners won't be able to see it. The views of the 1974 version of Tomorrowland,
I saw that.
Looks far more futuristic than it does now. I still think that was fairly iconic. It's amazing how the Imagineers looked at stuff sometimes through a really cool window. And the fountain, or not fountains, the falls that came out of the Tomorrowland entrances and stuff. It's just really cool looking, even by today's standards. I would love if they'd go back to something like that.
Yeah, and it's like they mucked with it really badly over the years. Like it got really messy.
Neon, it's neon. Everything's neon.
The neon I didn't mind so much because it really looks great at night, but some of the stuff it just was bizarre. Some of the choices that they made. Remember they had all of a sudden they threw all those weird rocks up out front that just sort of came from nowhere.
The purple rocks.
Well, no, the purple ones
shiny
were better.
ones.
They were brown originally. They were just ugly brown rocks. I remember going the first time and looking at them and being like, "Is this Frontierland? Did they
kind of like how they threw up all the gravestones in front of Spaceship Earth? I mean, seriously, there was just a period of time where there was some weirdness going on, and that.
They made some very bizarre decisions during that latter stage of the Eisner.
Don't even remember. Don't forget. Just recently, the cabanas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. City.
The cabanas.
The short-lived
Kingdom Cabanas. But for some reason, a tent city didn't look real good in Tomorrowland. Who would have thought?
Did anyone actually see those?
Place to put it, at least if you put it up in Frontierland, you could have themed it like it was an encampment or something like that. Nothing says futuristic city of tomorrow like a bunch of tents.
Right.
Did anyone get to see those live?
Yeah, I did, but they kind of had them blocked off with, how they have those tall shrubs and rolling buckets,
It's
also very futuristic, by the way.
Tall shrubs and rolling buckets.
Shrubbery.
That'd be a good name for a band.
Tall Shrubs
Tall
and
Shrubs and
Rolling
Rolling Buckets album. It's really good.
Their latest
It's a pan food.
Oh,
It's a pan food, man.
Ay. Very nice. Very nice. What else have we got? Do we have anything? I don't,
I got a couple more things.
Okay.
So we're talking about futuristic things.
Yes.
Something else kind of futuristic looking that is coming to Pandora. Pandora is getting its first, I guess you call it true streetmosphere. It actually already soft debuted, but it will officially debut on April 22nd. It will be what looks like from the movies as an AMP suit, if you're familiar with Avatar, but it'll actually not be that. It will instead be a Pandora utility suit, because this will be used by the friendly Pandora Conservative Initiative folks and not those bad people who use the evil people from the movie. Right. So there've already been a couple of videos posted online during the soft debut. They serve the guest preview. So basically, it's a streetmosphere character in this PCI, that's Pandora Conservative Initiative role. Just kind of walks around, interacts with the guests, asks them questions about the Pandora flora and fauna, shares facts about them. I've seen where he's asked a couple of the guests to make different animal noises that you hear throughout Pandora, so things like that. So adding kind of another layer of storytelling to the land, which is always good. So it kind of looks like a guy sitting in a giant robot, if you don't know what.
Yeah, like a mecha suit or whatever they call them.
Right, and there's a video on the boards that they released in a preview, so that's officially debuting on the park's 20th anniversary, which is April 22nd. But they appear to be appearing intermittently.
Well, I heard they asked a really cool, what was the best sound you heard in or the most prevalent sound you heard in Pandora, and it's why is this line so long? Why are we standing here for 4 hours?
Yeah,
and a long way. I know. I'm sorry.
They seem kind of funny too. So in one of the videos online, the suit kind of stops working, sort of, or he's having an issue. So he talks about his lack of training that he's had. So
yeah,
kind of
nice cover.
They have to have some improv skills as well as. Most of the cast do interact with guests frequently in entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, cool addition, fits in well. Always like the little pluses like that. Anything that they do to interact with the guests is cool, except for taking away Mickey Mouse, talking Mickey. Yep. Still sad about that.
No more updates on that, but we'll see.
All right.
Then I think we can pretty much close out with a series of dining updates.
Oh, plus we have a question from Justin's lovely wife, too.
Okay.
So, yep. Mm-hmm. You want to do that now, or you want to do the dining updates now?
We'll do that first.
Okay, we'll roll into that. So, Dawn asks, I have a question. If you were to bring back one Disney event, what would it be? I'll save what her... Yeah, son of a...
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, really. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, Ian?
I know what John wants. He wants the bicentennial parade. Mine without question would be Tapestry of Nations parade.
Can we define event?
No.
Okay.
Simple answer. No.
You define it as you would like to define.
That's the fun.
The one I would have brought back came back on Friday, so
it
did. I need a new one.
What was that?
The Paint the Night parade.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would bring. Well, this isn't really an event, but Jen said Paint the Night. I'd bring back Spectral Magic.
Yeah, that would have been my other choice, Carolyn. Definitely, that would have been. It's a very close second.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mickey's Birthday Land or whatever.
What are you nuts? What's wrong with you?
Well, I guess it's not an event, but wishes.
Yeah, you miss wishes.
Everybody's going for shows.
It always had a soft part of my heart. Okay. Wishes. So.
Not going to bring back the birthday castle.
No,
that was actually the very first time. First time Dawn and I went there, it was decorated as the castle.
No, nothing. No.
So, Ian, are you absolutely sure that's your answer?
Yeah, I loved absolutely love Tapestry Nations.
Okay. Because Dawn's answer was actually that she would bring back the Year of a Million Dreams so she could stay in the castle.
Like someone else on this podcast.
But I've already done that. Why would I need to do that again?
Yeah, you don't need to
Ian, you stayed in the castle?
Yeah.
I never heard that story.
About it, though.
Wow.
I try never to mention it.
Thank you, Dawn, for the question.
Justin's still thinking, and I haven't answered, but go ahead.
Oh, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say kind of the more free-roaming character interactions that they used to have, where it wasn't so,
that's
go wait in line for 8 hours to see one character.
That is a good one. So, Ian, that actually was a heck of an answer that you brought up for me. So I do like that, the Bicentennial Parade, with the weird, creepy, queepy dolls and that are way too tall. But if I could bring back, I don't know if it's an event though, but it would be an event for anyone who was doing it at the time. It would be to ride up front in the monorails again. So I mean that and get your monorail driver's license. That's an event. You're getting your monorail driver's license.
To me, that's absolutely an event. I think that's a good answer.
Yep. So that would be the one thing I would bring back. Thank you.
That was a good. Those were all really good answers. We're really smart.
Pat yourself on the back.
Right.
Ow! I especially like my Mickey's birthday land.
Mickey's birthday land.
Or Starland.
I like that too, actually.
But you know what we really need to talk about, because I'm hungry?
What?
Can we talk about Woody's lunchbox?
We can.
Guys, you're going to want to go here, so get ready.
Because they have tater barrels, I think.
They have potato barrels.
They got potato barrels, but they got...
What?
I'm reading the menu right now. It's so yummy.
What else do they have?
So if
Carolyn,
you've been watching
drooling.
our Twitter, we've been slowly posting some of the different signature entrees they have there. They will serve breakfast, which is kind of nice for a new land. That'll probably be very crowded and long hours. Probably the one thing everyone will try to want to get is the s'mores French toast breakfast sandwich. So it's like a sandwich made with French toast bread and then
marshmallows.
I guess the graham cracker, though, comes in the form of a crumble. So really just like a marshmallow chocolate filling with the graham cracker crumbles on it.
Wow.
Then there's other various breakfast dishes. They're going to have a Monte Cristo sandwich, a little different than Disneyland's famous version. They actually have the jam in the sandwich, which I believe is different.
Raspberry jam.
Yep.
Yeah, because I believe out there you get it on the side.
Yeah, you get on the side.
That's a violation. It has to go on the sandwich.
They have something called tachos, because it's made with tots, like potato tots.
No.
Potato barrels, corn chips, chili, and cheese. What's not to love?
Tachos.
Is cheese extra?
But
yes.
$5 extra for the cheese.
This is good too, though. Listen, you can get this. You get side dishes, but instead of just like fries, yogurt, go-go squeeze, applesauce. These are your side choices: tomato basil soup, vegetable macaroni salad, and potato barrels, or Mini Baby Bell snack cheese, the official snack cheese of Walt Disney World Resort.
Yeah. They're also sponsoring like half of Toy Story Land. So
cheese
so
people
they sponsor Woody's lunchbox, actually. Yeah.
Huh.
Baby Bell. Or they're a parent company, because I think Baby Bell's a brand, but yeah.
And then they have things that look like kind of a cross between a Pop-Tart and a toaster strudel.
Yep, those are lunchbox tarts.
Toaster Strudel's a brand name, so they would have to come up with some kind of generic
where they can't say the cereals.
They're basically anyone who went to the Festival of the Arts and know that kind of popped art thing they kept advertising. It looks like it's those, so you'll now be able to get those year round. They're like a handmade Pop-Tart, basically.
Mm-hmm. And then they have a bunch of desserts, and littlest tots can enjoy a grilled cheese sandwich, like lots of stuff for kids, mandarin oranges, stuff like that. But they have pop, like soda float. I was going to say pop floats, but for you guys,
but nobody would know what that meant. So
Coke float, all beer float.
Yes, but there's like all different. It looks like one's a cherry Coke. It's kind of red and pink.
Ooh, Could be birch beer.
Beer floats.
Oh, that would be good. I love a birch beer.
They just say they're old-fashioned soda floats. They don't really give details yet.
Old-fashioned soda fountain floats.
Won't have an old-fashioned price, I can assure you of that.
And then the souvenir beverage, everyone will have to choose. They have a little green alien with claw sipper cup.
The claw.
That you can get with their signature non-alcoholic beverage of the land, which will be the Mystic Portal Punch. It's Powerade Mountain Berry Blast with lemon, lime, and tangerine, and it's green for some reason. I guess lemon, lime, tangerine, and blue make green. I guess that makes sense. Kind of.
Sort of.
Maybe.
The big kids can enjoy the backyard with grown-ups lemonade cocktail, cherry vodka, Odwalla lemonade, and black cherry puree. So that's where I'll be, kids.
So you can get your drink on while your kids are riding the little saucers. Woohoo!
Getting liquored.
Mama's getting liquored up with the LGM.
And then go on the Slinky coaster.
Go by, yeah. That one.
She's... Very nice.
No, but that looks good. That it's different. It's not just like French fries. I mean, it's potato barrels, which is just a different shaped French fry. Yeah. But still, it's at least they're doing something a little bit different.
Yep.
Putting a little thought into it. Always a good thing.
Yeah, I like it.
So keeping the food trend going and talking about trends. So Justin bemoaned earlier the rose gold craze that struck Walt Disney World and Disneyland to an extent. So the next craze is here that you will find all of your sweets in. They will now be donning Millennial Pink. So the main treat that's come out of all of this.
What is Millennial Pink?
Baby
I think it's officially a softer pink color. So often worn by millennials.
Really?
Kill me now.
Is that
right? Sounded like a definition, doesn't it?
Think of like there's baby blue, and then think of like a baby pink.
Wouldn't
that just be pink?
Well, kind of. And that's what's actually funny is their signature sweet in all of this is a Mickey Mouse Millennial Pink milkshake. You can find it at Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies in the Magic Kingdom in Tommorowland. It's a strawberry milkshake with pink cotton candy. So again, they're kind of implying that's just the color Millennial Pink. And then a house-made Millennial Pink Mickey Mouse marshmallow on top. So this is all on one milkshake.
A house-made marshmallow.
Yes.
Now I've heard it all.
Somebody wakes up in the morning and today my job
I would love to work, as somebody who works in advertising, I would love to work as like a Disney operator. I mean, they come up with the best promotional language ever. They could make a rock sound like something you have to own.
Yeah.
But just think about the ideas that they don't get out.
It's limited edition rock.
Stone.
Rock was a thing.
It's painted Millennial Pink.
So if you're interested, you can go on the boards and see all the treats. There's actually, counted up, they released 10 different signature sweets that are on the different shades of Millennial Pink. They go from cupcakes to sweet sippers, which I guess are at the one Pasteria in Disney Springs. So it's like candy with champagne. To crispy treats coated in Millennial Pink chocolate. There's all sorts of different things. Cream puff is the other one.
What are you calling cream puff?
Not anymore.
So we got pictures of all those on the boards if you want to go.
Yes, I was just looking at them. Looks fantastic.
Yep. I think the signature milkshake may give you a serious sugar rush, or
a tummy ache.
I think a lot of what we've mentioned.
Yeah, I was going to say that all sounded like a quick trip to the hospital for
candy. Plus, that's a big marshmallow treat, Dave.
For type 2 diabetes therapy.
Is this exclusive to Walt Disney World?
So far, but that's kind of what happened with the rose gold. It kind of started mostly at Disney World. Then they did a couple things at Disneyland. So I'm sure Disneyland will shortly have a couple Millennial Pink items as well. The Millennial Pink Mini Ears debuted at Disneyland first, and now are at both resorts, coast to coast.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Not me.
There's this site called INTERCOT you should read.
I'm waiting for the old guy gray desserts to make an appearance. You know, I mean,
well, they have the
orthopedic shoes.
Uncle Orville's old guy gray. You know,
at Be Our Guest, there will be this summer a white chocolate chip.
That's close enough.
Chip character, filled with the gray stuff.
No, there you go.
It's delicious.
We do have the gray stuff for us.
Yeah, that's going to be their new signature dessert.
Goodness. Wow.
So, speaking of signature desserts and dining places, we've talked about a lot of
It's amazing how he does that sometimes. Go ahead.
There has recently been a reduction. So the Scary Apothecary, seriously my favorite named place at Walt Disney World, has closed along with Sweet Spells.
He's no more.
Those are part of the Beverly Sunset Theater.
Right.
If you ever noticed that on the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, that's supposed to be an actual theater, and it advertised on its marquee the Scary Apothecary, Sweet Spells, and for quite a while, Villains in Vogue, as if those were film titles. But now it's recently been Real Vogue, REEL. Get the pun?
I see what they did there.
2 of those have closed.
Okay.
With no real clear replacement on where to get other sort of fresh-made treats. The rumor is that the open show kitchen there is being completely removed. The marquee, so they just closed today here on 4/16 as we're recording this. The marquee now reads Tinseltown Trinkets and Real Vogue. So that may be the new store replacing the front half of that building. Could be.
We need more tchotchkes.
Trinkets. But the rumor was that would be the new flagship store for Pixar items. Seemed like
more Pixar.
Yeah, seemed like a little bit of
Pixar is requiring more Pixar.
Bring in a bucket full of Star Wars.
Really near Pixar.
Everybody's
land.
doing it now.
I would think that might be the first time they've ever had like a flagship merchandise location not in or near the land it's part of. So you'd have to walk around almost to the back of the current park for Toy Story Land.
Right.
And then like about halfway in would be the store. That's not really very good for impulse buying, I wouldn't think, at least when you're thinking about Toy Story and seeing it all around you. But we'll see. It looks like they released the name, although it hasn't been confirmed. So a lot of people worried about where will some of those signature sweets go. Only one of them has been spotted so far across the street at the Trolley Car Cafe, a.k.a. the Hollywood Studio Starbucks, but that is the carrot cake cookie.
More carrot cake.
More carrot cake.
Somebody likes the carrot cake.
They buy it in bulk.
If you click on the interwebs, you will see many people try to track that down because it originally moved from the writer's spot. Was Spot or Stop? Anyways, that other one that closed. Stop. The writer's Stop closed, and it was served there exclusively. Then it moved to Sweet Spells. Now it's moving a third time to the Trolley Car Cafe. So if you were looking for it at Hollywood Studios, that is where it has gone.
It's gone.
So to wrap up,
well, I will let you guys know, just in case you're curious, we did get invited to the opening of Toy Story Land. So that's supposed to happen somewhere around, June 30th or something? Right, so I think there was an immediate event immediately preceding that in June. Originally, I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to that because I thought I was going to be at a work event, my other work. But it does appear my work event's actually in July, not June. So should be able to do that. So we should be able to have some coverage, I'm thinking. Unless I've forgotten about something. But if not, we'll try and get one of our intrepid INTERCOT reporters there as well. But it's, I think, a 2-day event, actually, prior to it opening. So I got a save the date notice and a cute little graphic in the mail about a week ago. So
your mission is to eat the s'mores French toast.
I will gladly accept the mission.
When is the s'mores French toast is in? Yeah, that won't be available till the end of June, right? That's when that opens.
Yeah, it'll be part of Woody's Lunchbox. Is so far looks like the only dining establishment inside Toy Story Land. There might be some other snack carts, but that seems to be the only real restaurant.
Indeed,
my friend.
So now that we've made you hungry with all of these treats,
yes,
and you may want to be saving on buying all of those various goodies on your next trip. Rumors are starting to circulate when free dining will be for 2018.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yep. So it's already started to leak out.
Wait, get Magical Journeys sources on speed dial, our sponsor. And
so it should be coming out here soon. We're recording this on the 16th, so if you're shouting at the podcast saying, hey, they announced that it's not those dates, you'll know why. So it's due out about any day now, an official confirmation, but right now the rumored dates are August 2nd through September 29th. Then a big blackout, then November 24th through the 27th, then a smaller blackout, and then December 7th through the 23rd. So I think that's the first time they've ever split it up like that. I think last year it skipped over October, but then was fairly contiguous. So this year, if these rumors are true, it would be 3 different periods.
I'm surprised. Do they always have free dining that close to Christmas?
They have run it up there the last couple years. I think they just again hit such a big spike at Christmas historically.
Right.
So this year they're getting a lot of big crowd spikes other times.
Oh yeah. Well.
All year long.
It's kind of where it's going.
Relative though, but still relatively speaking, wherever the new baseline is, there's still been some pretty big crowd spikes.
Well, as I was telling folks, and I don't know whether it was you guys, and I think it was, living here on Hilton Head Island, right? I think tourism, generally you can look for it to be up this year because we had one of the largest crossing days of the bridge over to the island a couple weeks back ever. And that's saying something. Like, it's been crazy around here. So I think folks are traveling. Folks are spending money right now. And if the parks are any indication from when I've been there and when you all have been there this year, I mean, it just, there's no end in sight. So
it's not like the attendance was down last year either.
It's gotten even worse, I think, personally. But I think, and what I'm trying to say is, I think we may be seeing a trend here where folks are getting out and about and spending a little more money. So we'll have to see.
When I went in February, they asked me to fill in a survey after, and a lot of the survey questions were about, did the size of the crowds impact your vacation enjoyment?
No, it was perfectly fine. I didn't mind it at all.
I didn't mind waiting 4 hours to go on Small World. Yeah, no. So I think they're aware of it, but I don't know what they'll do about it.
Nada.
I mean, I know they can. I know the thing that's funny is all the stuff that we criticize them about raising these prices and all. Right. It's all trying to drive the crowds down, but nothing they do drives them down. People just keep coming in hordes.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a great problem to have if you're a
absolutely
it's not a great, it's not a great environment for. I mean, at some point in time, there's got to be a breaking point because people, at a certain point where it's just too crowded to have fun. Although, I don't know, some people seem to thrive on the idea of, waiting in a 4-hour line to get on a ride. There's, a whole segment of people that, sort of brag about it on Facebook. Like, I waited 7 hours to see the new Disney ride, and it was great.
Well, there's a certain amount of that when things first open, right?
Or brand new.
And I certainly, I get that. You want to be one of the first. I mean, I get it. I don't want to be that person, but, I mean, I get the people who do that. But I think there is a certain segment that the crowds don't bother them either. Like, they just figure that's what a theme park is like, and I don't know.
Well, I'm calling when Star Wars opens, it's going to be 7-8 hour wait.
But everybody will be there, and the rest of the park will be empty.
It's so funny because I'm kind of excited about it, right? Because I'm a complete Star Wars nerd, but
except you like the new one.
I won't be able to go for like 4 years.
For 4 years.
Because I'm not dealing with all. I'm too old to deal with all the. I'm old and cranky. I
don't even think you're going to be able. I don't even think you're going to be able to get fast passes
you
at the 60
old
gates.
And you are cranky.
It's just, you're not going to be able to get them. I think they're just going to be impossible to get.
Yeah, and it's going to be that way for like
Pandora.
5 years. I mean, really, think about how Toy Story Mania still has 80-minute wait times, and that ride's got to be almost 10 years old now. I can't even imagine what the Star Wars ride is.
It's so fun.
I mean, the Toy Story Land is going to be brand new, and it's going to be huge, and the lines there are going to be crazy. And as soon as Star Wars opens,
I don't think Toy Story Land is going to be anything like.
No,
you'll have the new Mickey Mouse ride to open before that.
True.
That'll help.
I don't know how big of a draw that'll be. The only thing I would hope is that there aren't a lot of like frustrated people who then get fed up with that land and then go out through the rest of the park. So the rest of the park isn't that empty, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the problem is
Tower of Terror is my favorite ride. So the
volume of people, it can't be supported by what's there. I mean, there's really only 2 rides, right? I mean, there's the Millennium Falcon thing and whatever the flagship Falcon. Sorry, Millennium Falcon.
Falcon.
And then whatever the flagship. There's only 2 rides.
Like battle something.
I mean, it's not like it's a. It's not like it's in a theme park in and of itself.
It's going to have cool restaurants, and there's going to be a lot to see. That's like just saying Harry Potter's just a couple rides. I mean, it's immersive. There's other stuff going on.
Oh, absolutely.
There's some shows.
I'm not criticizing I'm not criticizing it for that. I'm just saying there's those people. There will be 1 million people there. They got to go somewhere because there's only 2 rides to hold them. So they're going to overflow into everything else.
Did you guys see the leaked footage of what the Millennium Falcon ride is going to be like?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me very motion sick.
Did we talk a little bit about that? I thought we did on our last podcast, but I thought maybe not.
No, it's just come out recently. It's essentially what it is. Imagine Star Tours, but...
Oh, I talked about it on that other podcast.
Yeah.
Getting my podcast mixed up.
Traitor.
No.
That other podcast
I was trying to find us a new audience. Welcome to all those who are listening from that podcast.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. The Divas. The Diz Divas folks. Yes, indeed. Sorry. I cheated.
No, so the new ride essentially is imagine video games that your kids play or that you play. Think of like GTA 5 or Fortnite or those kind of, Call of Duty, where it's just a whole world and you can go wherever you want and explore, hey, what's behind this building and what's under here and that kind of thing. So essentially, your ride is going to be just you and the other people in your vehicle just flying around and stumbling upon different things. So it's a new technology only because that takes like an incredible amount of computing to make a screen and everything that big go where you decide to tell it to go.
Well, didn't they partner with NVIDIA or something like that?
Yeah, and that's who more or less leaked it. They showed it at a conference, and surprise, people had cell phones.
Yeah, gee, how about that?
So, I like the idea of it, but I'm worried that I'm going to get into some vehicle, and I'm going to be filled with a group of idiots that just want to hey, well, let's just crash into stuff and
And I waited 7 hours in line to go on, and they control the ship, and I'm stuck crashing into some.
Well, that's part of it. Is it's supposed to then register on your Magic Band, and when you go throughout the land, someone may accost you saying, "Hey, you're a really bad driver. You crashed this ship," and so on and so forth.
Yeah, they'll be able to.
So whatever you do on the rides are supposed to impact how cast interact with you throughout the land.
All I really wanted to do was shoot down TIE fighters and the cannons. If I can't do that, I'm not that interested. I wanted to run down the little,
Maybe possible. They show the seating. It's kind of, they're smaller pods. It was 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
But what? Yeah, think of it how Chewie and Han sit at the front, and then there's another row of seats behind that, and another row of seats behind that.
Then how do all 8 people fly?
Like, I think that I'm guessing here, but I would guess it's something to do kind of like Mission Space, where it's like, okay, now the guy in Chewie's seat, punch it. And, like, you got to hit these buttons. And I don't know. I think everybody's going to have a whole bunch of buttons.
It's going to be their seat, but they're not going to be sitting in it?
No, like, every seat that's in there,
right?
There will be buttons that you have to push at a certain time.
I get that. I was waiting for Chewie or Han to be up front or something, have an audio animatronic, and you're along for the ride. And you say, no,
you get to fly.
No, you're
no, but Ian, I get what you say about, like, wouldn't it be cool to be down in, like, the little shooty compartment? Where
I would like to do that too.
Where you can, like, spin side to side.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Han Solo, did you hear the new trailer? He actually goes, "I have a good feeling about this."
Yeah.
I actually thought that was very funny. I'm sorry.
So on that, are you guys buying into that? Because the dude doesn't even look like him.
I don't care. That bother you? It's kind of annoying to me, John. I agree with you there. Like, I feel like they got, like, I don't know. I guess maybe he's roguish and whatever.
But I wasn't thrown with Woody Harrelson in it. That kind of ruins it for me. If it wasn't Woody Harrelson, I don't know.
Hey, Chewbacca looks the same.
Although he was good in that.
I mean, Han Solo is my
movie.
favorite by far. So I'll be there on May 25th.
I know. I'm just a little bothered, like you said, about the casting. I watched the trailer and I was like,
yeah, I didn't love the casting when I saw it. I was like, I don't know if I'm buying this guy as Han Solo. He doesn't have, like, the original Han Solo was a rogue, right? Like, he was like, I mean, think about.
And Han Solo, when we first met him, was fairly young.
Yeah.
So, now I'm going back and having to, like, suspend disbelief, and then I don't like it.
Well, it's before New Hope, though, right? So theoretically, he's even younger.
Right, but I'm just saying we saw him as pretty darn young in the original.
Right, so like the question exactly right. Like, how old was he in New Hope? I mean, max he
30,
28, 30. So what is he now? He's going to be 19. I mean, and this guy's not 19,
22.
So, but I think you have to kind of shut down
that portion of my brain.
But I'm not super thrilled. I hope it works out better than the casting.
Right.
It seems like it will, because I wasn't thrilled with his.
If the story's good, it'll be all right. We'll
yeah, but I mean, I know, we talked about this before. I mean, I did not like Rogue One at all, so I'm hoping that it's significantly better than that one was. Huh. I shouldn't say I didn't like it at all. I didn't. It
was just merely entertaining.
No, you didn't like it at all. You said it was that many times.
Star Wars.
Stick with your statement.
That's saying something. Behind the Jar Jar films and everything, and
yeah.
Really, you would put it?
No,
wow.
I mean, it's pretty close.
Everywhere.
Misa, I want to know. Is it behind them?
Yeah, but he we're running out of gas. Fuel. Sorry.
But it just wasn't a good. I didn't care that the people died. I was just fine with it.
We weren't supposed to care.
Spoiler.
I was sad. Spoiler alert.
7-year-old movie.
It's like 2.5 years old. If you haven't seen it by now, too bad.
I totally forgot that they would die at the end. That was I was sad.
Yeah.
I was kind of happy.
He was like, good. They're dead. I don't like this movie anyway.
We go home.
Really made me mad. It didn't open with Star Wars.
Well, that is true.
That.
Yeah.
That actually did throw me a little bit. Well, I wonder if Solo will.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, you know what? I think I saw a crawl somewhere.
Oh, no. Really?
What would the crawl be? I mean, just what's going on in the galaxy at the time? We know what's going on in the galaxy at the time.
I don't know.
The Empire is taking over. Or took over.
Yeah, but this would be before Rogue One.
Right.
Yeah, well before Rogue One.
Well, the Empire took over at the end of. They became the Galactic Empire.
But you can't just assume that the people.
Sith.
You can't assume that people seeing the movie know the backstory. That's the whole thing with the crawl.
But would this be back when?
Wait. You're saying you can't assume someone going to see a Solo knows the backstory?
They might not. Maybe it's their first Star Wars movie, dude.
I feel like this one would be after the prequels, but before
Could happen.
Rogue One.
What?
Like, there would be a Darth Vader by now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Vader is
between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One.
Well, what'd they say between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One was what? 15 years? 10 years? No, it had to be longer than that. I'm sorry. Because Luke was 20, so he was probably about 20 years, 22 years, give or take.
God, this is probably Ariel Brian's going to listen to this and give us
Gary's going to give us notes back.
Yeah, and saying we got it all wrong.
But
he should have been here
after the end of Revenge of the Sith. It could have been happening in parallel, really, couldn't it?
Well, Revenge of the Sith was when Luke and Leia were born, and in New Hope, they're what? How old are they? 20?
20, yeah. I don't even.
So this is probably
Luke's a late teenager in that movie. I think.
Is this in the Star Wars cinematic universe? I know.
Han was older than
know what's
Luke,
going on here.
So Han's probably 6 to 8 years older than Luke, I would guess.
So I'd say this is probably 10 years after.
I would say 9. 9 years older.
John's giving up.
10 years after Revenge of the Sith and 10 years before
That's
New
what
Hope.
I want to know. What's Aunt
That's
Peru
my
up
time.
to?
Well, she likes her food very fried.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done.
Got a bad motivator.
Uncle Owen.
So do we have anything? Do we have anything else, Jason?
He's got a bad motivator.
Or are we?
I think that was.
What that blue one?
We'll take that blue one.
You can get blue milk in Star Wars.
Oh, gross! Ew, the green milk from the last movie. Green or blue? No, this was green milk, so we still don't know where the blue milk comes from.
Blue cows.
I would hope it's just that simple, but God.
Just like chocolate milk comes from chocolate cows.
Right.
I mean, everybody knows that.
How now, bro?
Obviously.
All right. I think we're good to go. I think we've got everything. Have we not? All right. Well, then before we go, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, which would be Magical Journeys and the official Ticket Center. Please support both of them. And, keep those questions coming. We'll try and let you know in the future when we're taping podcasts. Tonight was a little chaotic, and I didn't get a chance to go live beforehand and talk to you folks in person. And we are still looking at some way of doing some sort of video, but it may involve a little reduced set of the podcasters, I think. And we may just do it as kind of a special kind of thing coming up. But until we get that rolled and ironed out, you have us at least on a monthly basis. And if we can ever arrange it, maybe even more than that. But at least about once a month. So
busy schedules.
I know it's very difficult. What is it they say? About making how many clocks chime at the same time?
Yeah, they say that in it is very difficult to make 13 clocks chime at the same time.
That was the reference I was going for at the American
You had
Adventure.
to guess. There's 13 colonies, John. Come on, brush up on your history here, bro.
All right.
Can we sneak a little RIP in at the end for Harry Anderson, by the way?
And the Full Metal Jacket guy.
Oh, and R. Lee Ermey, as well.
Gunny.
Well, Harry Anderson has a couple Disney tie-ins, which is why I mentioned him. So.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, R.I.P. to both of those. And Heather Menzies, apparently, too.
Yes, and definitely Heather Menzies. Oh, and Hal Kruger, who also died.
Yep. So, anyway, that's about it for the INTERCOT Insider Podcast. On behalf of the whole crew here, we will see you next time. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
Are you listeners?
We really appreciate you all joining us today.
Thanks for coming out.
My lumbago is acting up. No privacy at all around this place. George.
Oh, George. You're
Salty old pirates. Salty old pirates. Just start
As long as we're all together, who cares if I burn the Christmas turkey?
I do. I'm
I'm starving.
Shut it, Grandma.